The day I became Lakeside Estates' most despised man was also the day I became its most influential. 5-0, that's what Karen Wellington and her homeowners association fined me for fishing with my mourning daughter. What they didn't know, I had $4 million reasons to fight back and more than enough resentment to use every single one of them. If you're watching this on your phone from the bathroom, trying to escape the boredom of those endless HOA meetings, drop a comment below and let me know where you're hiding. Trust me, you won't want to miss this story. My name is Remi Thorncroft, and until just 2 months ago, I was living what most people would consider the American dream. I'd spent 15 years in venture capital, building a career in financial investment, and eventually sold my stakes in multiple tech startups for enough to retire at 42. But life has a funny way of showing you that money isn't everything. My wife, Rachel, lost her battle with cancer last year, leaving me to raise our 14-year-old daughter, Selen. The grief almost tore us apart. The only thing that seemed to ease the pain was fishing, the last activity we all did together before Rachel's health deteriorated. So when I decided we needed a fresh start, I searched for a home near water, somewhere peaceful, somewhere to heal. Lakeside Estates seemed perfect on paper. Upscale homes, good schools, and a stunning 6-acre lake at the heart of the development. The realtor mentioned the homeowners association, but reassured me it was the usual stuff: lawn maintenance, exterior paint colors, etc. I should have paid attention when she hesitated before adding, "The HOA president, Karen Wellington, is committed to maintaining property value." I didn't think much of it at the time. I've dealt with difficult personalities before. How bad could one neighborhood bureaucrat be? I found out exactly how bad on a quiet Saturday morning in April. Selen and I had been fishing at the community lake for about an hour. It was the first time in weeks I saw my daughter genuinely smile. She had just caught her second bluegill and was unhooking it when a sharp voice interrupted the peaceful morning. "Excuse me, but what exactly do you think you're doing?" Karen Wellington approached, looking every bit the part of the neighborhood enforcer. In her late 50s, impeccably dressed in expensive athleisure, her highlighted blonde hair styled in what I can only describe as the "I want to speak to the manager" look. She carried a tablet and wore an expression as if she had just caught us vandalizing public property. "Good morning," I replied, trying to stay calm. "Just fishing with my daughter." I extended my hand. "I'm Remi Thorncroft. We moved to Sycamore Drive a couple of months ago." She ignored my hand entirely, tapping furiously on her tablet. "Mr. Thorncroft, fishing is explicitly prohibited in this community lake. This is a direct violation of HOA regulations. I'm Karen Wellington, HOA president. I'll be issuing a violation notice. The fine is $500. Selen froze beside me. "There must be a mistake," I said calmly. The realtor said fishing was one of the community's amenities. It was a selling point for us. Karen's smile was thin and didn't quite reach her eyes. "The regulation was amended last month. All residents were notified by email. Ignorance of the rules doesn't exempt you from following them." She turned her tablet toward me, showing a document titled "Amendment to Recreational Use of Community Lake." The date indicated it was approved just 4 weeks earlier. "We never received any notification about this," I protested. "I personally oversee all communications," Karen said, her tone dripping with certainty. "The email was sent to every household. Perhaps you should check your spam folder." I bet back my frustration and kept my tone level. Why was fishing suddenly banned? "This lake is stocked with fish." I pointed to several bays swimming near the shallow edges of the water. Karen barely glanced at the lake. "Environmental and safety concerns. The hooks can injure wildlife, and we've had complaints about the smell of fish and bait disturbing residents trying to enjoy the lake views." Her eyes flickered to our small tackle box. "Not everyone wants to see this activity while they're having coffee on their patio." Something in Karen's tone told me there was more to this than just the rules. "We're very careful," I said, trying to remain composed. "Selen and I practice catch and release and clean up when we're done." Karen's expression hardened. "Perhaps you don't understand how things work here at Lakeside Estates. We maintain certain standards. This isn't a public fishing hole. Long-term residents expect a certain atmosphere." She glanced at Selen, then back at me. "New residents sometimes struggle to adapt to our community culture. People who are more accustomed to, shall we say, different types of neighborhoods." The implication was clear. I felt a surge of anger rising in my chest, but I was interrupted by a sniffle beside me. Selen's eyes were filling with tears. "This was supposed to be our healing place, a refuge for both of us." "We'll pack up," I said softly, placing my arm around Selen. Please email me the details of the fine and the updated regulations. Karen's smile returned, smug and victorious. Excellent. I'm glad we understand each other. And do check your email more carefully in the future, Mr. Thorncroft. We wouldn't want any further misunderstandings. As Karen turned and walked away, her designer sneakers barely making a sound on the manicured grass. Selen wiped her eyes. Dad, why was that lady so mean? We weren't hurting anything. I didn't have a good answer. Some people like rules more than they like people, sweetheart, I said, pulling her close. Let's go home and have some lunch. That evening, after finding no notification in my email, including the spam folder, I began digging into our HOA. What I found was eye-opening. Karen Wellington had been HOA president for 8 years, her day job owning a small but exclusive real estate business. I also found photos of her hosting waterfront parties at the same lake she had just fined me for fishing, complete with alcohol and loud music. Most revealing was a buried clause in the HOA documents. The lake was listed as a shared property belonging to all residents, not under the HOA's exclusive control. So I began asking myself, who actually owns this lake? The next day, I met Merrick Henderson, a retired attorney and neighbor, who had a lot to say about Karen's control over the neighborhood. As he and I delved into public records, we uncovered a disturbing pattern. Karen had been quietly acquiring properties in the community through various shell companies. Her endgame, to buy the lake and redevelop it for luxury homes. Merrick introduced me to Samuel Washington, a local retired bank owner who opposed Karen's leadership. Samuel shared a database he'd created, showing that Karen was selectively enforcing violations, targeting homeowners of color and new residents, while allowing longtime residents to break rules without consequence. From there, it became clear Karen wasn't just a power-hungry HOA president. She was fighting for her financial survival. And now, she was trying to buy the lake at any cost. I made it my mission to fight back. But first, I needed to find a way to make Karen's plans implode. And that's exactly what I did.